Tzu Chi and UNHCR help a single mother to ease the burden of her daughter's medical fees. Tzu Chi volunteers from England and Germany help local charity organizations to show care. Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Maggie Sai. Thank you for joining us. A 24-year-old Rohingya single mother from Myanmar fled from Malaysia. Her eldest daughter has kidney disease and needed to seek medical attention. Without a job, this family suffered many difficulties in life. Thankfully, under UNHCR subsidy help and Tzu Chi's care, the single mother has finally lessened her burden.
Have you ever thought that in the city that we live in, there are places where people struggle to survive instead of living?
Staying here all alone as a single mother in this place, rented a small room.
The first impression is when we entered the room, it's so small, no place for me to sit.
So it's above shop lots. It's a partition, yeah. The three of them, the mother, the single mother, and then the two daughters. And that's it, just a bed.
So we arranged to meet outside here in the coffee shop.
I'm 24 years old. I'm a Rohingya. One of my daughters is 4 years old and the other is 9 months old.
She got married when she was very young, early 20s. So her first husband, after like 6 months into the marriage, she found out the family is they're doing drugs and stuff. Yeah, they stole her money just for all the drugs, so she has to leave. Yeah.
After she left her husband, Anojuma found out she was pregnant. She thought she would be happy in her second marriage, yet it ended in divorce too. Plus, her daughter is sick, making her life more difficult.
Her daughter is having a kidney problem.
My daughter went to the hospital twice. The doctor prescribed medications to help urination and reduce swelling.
Because of insufficient money, they go outside to beg for money and carry them to nearby malls and ask for money, begging for money. It's painful.
Sometimes
to watch.
I'd beg in front of the bank. If there is a policeman, I will run away. Life is difficult, really difficult. When there is no money, I'd borrow it from my friends. If they are willing to lend me, I take it. If not, there's nothing else I could do. I'm jobless and no one can help to take care of my children. I still need to pay the rent. If there's extra money, I'd buy some food to eat. I've no one to seek help from. Life's easier now with some allowances from UNHCR. Otherwise, I'm lost.
There's quite a heavy stress on single mothers that are facing.
I want to work. I want to buy food. Life is really difficult. I feel helpless. I want to work, but no one can take care of my children. It will be worse for me to pay for childcare.
And that's like an emotional stress that you have to face through every day, not enough money. I would say it's poverty. I think first of all, I think all the refugees are having the same issue. Because of poverty, and then comes the medical condition, they lie hand in hand.
I want to work, but what about my children? It's hard.
Helpless, Anojuma can only pray for this heavy burden to lessen, as no one likes to turn into begging if they are able to work.
Due to agricultural planting, the tropical rainforest is being burned. Its disappearance has accelerated the rise in Earth's temperature. Let's join some experts and scholars engaging in the discussion for solutions.
The Wildlife Conservation Society on this day has hosted a series of panels at the Nature Now Hub in the Central Park Road of New York City, with topics such as agriculture and sustainable land development, highlighting the disappearing rainforest in Indonesia's Sumatra. Panel discussions mention giving farmers alternative forms of livelihood, allowing them to grow crops such as coffee, so they would not further contribute to the deforestation.
Partnering with an NGO like the Wildlife Conservation Society actually helps us collect data on the ground to show what regions are best to focus our efforts on.
It was important for us to collaborate with partners to make sure that we can prevent that potential risk of deforestation.
And then have data related to different farming communities, how we're increasing farmer livelihoods and their families, how we're providing some financial mechanisms back to those farmers.
During the panel on commitment to action, participants paid special attention on the present and future role of cooperations and climate change.
So this panel in particular I was interested because it's about commitments to action for implementing nature-based solutions.
But have you done any work? Is it even feasible to one day expect that McCain will be 100% regenerative agriculture?
I don't know today. I think it's a combination of things. Regenerative agriculture is certainly one component.
You know, I work with one of the companies that is a member of this commitment, and I go to their local office in different countries, and they have zero idea that their company has commitments. They have zero idea that they're supposed to be avoiding deforestation in their supply chains, and then they argue with me about why they should do it.
Commitments are 5 years ago, you know, that when we started. What we need is targets, we need action plans, we need metrics, and we will hold people accountable.
I hope that they can take this new initiative and this new collaboration to say this is what we're going to do specifically to make sure that these are not empty words.
The big corporations and multinationals are big actors of pollution and climate change. The annual Climate Week's purpose is bringing people together so that everyone can rethink about how to make ecological sustainable development and slow down global warming.
In 2019, Tzu Chi declared to be Year of Raising Awareness to Aid in Disaster Reduction. Let's visit the Disaster Reduction Education Center in Miaoli to see some training courses it offers.
Considered to be a bomb cycle.
Never have I seen anything like this. This is crazy.
Look at that, 26 degrees above average in Portland, while down towards Long.
Unusual weather has become the norm on Earth, as extreme weather is no longer something that happens elsewhere.
Extreme weather, which is unlike before, sometimes it is too cold, sometimes it is too hot.
Phone calls come in one after another as messages continue to flow in.
Line messages might be buried, or if you write it down in a note, that person who received the note will get a call in the next minute and forget about the note which said to prepare 100 cartons of instant rice. Messages are easily missed or even duplicated.
Using the shortest amount of time to organize the data helps the decision making.
发布了陆上台风警报。
夹带大量土石哦，
低洼地区啦，还有环保看板啦，有没有？社区的资源怎么去运用
？Beginning in 2018, Tzu Chi has used a cloud platform to collect and coordinate disaster relief, so that actions updated are easily seen by local volunteers.
No matter if we are at Hualien or other local command centers, everyone has access to the same information at the same time.
The cloud database helps us to save information and also supports past disaster reflections.
The first Disaster Reduction Education Center is set up at the Tzu Chi grounds in Miaoli. One of the main points of it is to have a space for volunteers to run drills and practice their procedures.
那边这个是地下水的取水口哦。
Last year, when flooding in Lao occurred, Tzu Chi brought a water purification system to help the residents with clean water to drink.
The suitcase is warm, but the system fits right in, and the list 4 become my luggage. As I arrive in Laos and head to the disaster zone, I can set up the water purification system in less than 10 minutes.
The education center displays many of the compassionate technology that Tzu Chi uses during disaster relief, such as the mobile kitchen, which has gone through many improvements and was a big help during both the 2015 Trans-Asia Airways crash in Geelong, as well as the 2016 Thailand earthquake. Wireless communication as well as ropes are the basic tools for a search and rescue responder.
第一个状况就是我救援你到帮助你到这边，你没有办法上来。
Training is protecting ourselves and improving our endurance. There are frontline rescue workers, and we are here to support them.
Training with one another on the regular and getting more familiar with how to use the rescue tools from Tzu Chi helps prepare the volunteers in case of an emergency. Prevention, preparedness, and reduction, these three key words, are all related to disaster. 2019, the year of disaster reduction education, Tzu Chi's exhibition serves as a reminder of the awareness that came out of the 91 quake.
Disaster relief is a difficult job. Disaster prevention is a bigger challenge, as it's important for everyone to be aware.
Improving disaster relief with advanced technology in April of this year, Tzu Chi's disaster reduction data sites went live.
People are used to using applications such as Google Map and Google Earth. I'm just adding our data for disaster-related operations to it. It's an integration of technology and disaster prevention.
This site combines information from National Science and Technology Center for Disaster Reduction and Tzu Chi's data, which improves the power of disaster relief.
For example, if we say that an earthquake happened near Yong'an Street, and we choose this function to draw a line, and then the system can tell us right away, within 100 meters on both sides of the street, how many volunteers we have in the area. Oh, see, there are a total of 7.
With information at the fingertips, the manpower and resources can be dispatched and used at the right place in the most efficient time. Facing disasters unknown, one must be pious and careful, as that is the only way to bring about a peace of mind.
In 2017, serious forest fires devastated part of Portugal, and Tzu Chi volunteers have delivered timely help. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers from England and Germany revisited to deliver meals and provide care.
To do this work, you need to be a good cook and also a good driver.
Driving on the crooked mountain roads, Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting families in the remote region.
It's so nice that you can take care of those people that you know actually so close to.
The senior's calf is swollen due to injury. England Tzu Chi volunteer and team of pharmacist Wang Yijie bends down to check on the condition.
It's not too bad, but has he got any infection? Has he got diabetes?
Diabetic, senhor? No.
In central Portugal, the young people in Seoul in Viseu have moved away, leaving behind seniors. With the help of local volunteer Maria, Tzu Chi volunteers from England and Germany deliver food and visit the families.
You're very beautiful girls that came to visit her.
The volunteers deliver red envelopes of blessing and wisdom, peace charms, as well as wishes.
Everything good, and she hopes that she sees you again.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we will be loved to come here again.
These visitors have brought great love to the quiet city in the mountains.
This year is the 25th year since the establishment of the Tzu Chi chapter in Washington, D.C. in the U.S. In the past quarter of a century, there have been some challenges with charity relief work, but thanks to the involvement of the younger generation, the chapter's mission could continue to blossom and grow.
In 2008, we moved into this regional office. I'm so happy there are so many here to celebrate this occasion with us.
What's your answer?
It's a beautiful night for a gathering today, and it just happens to be the 25th anniversary of Washington, D.C. Tzu Chi.
There are about 150 people today, including guests. It's a good time. I think Washington, D.C.'s first C was Mama Zhen. She began the effort 25 years ago. Through it all, we have overcome each obstacle we encountered. Now we're faced with many of the brother and sisters' retirement. More and more are leaving to go back to Taiwan. So really at times, we're short on people. We hope to recruit more local volunteers. But honestly, getting local volunteers still needs the help of our younger generation. As a disciple of the Master, I will do my best to fulfill this mission.
Have read some of the Master's work and have composed I am composing a classical song about an experience Master had, the Dharma Master had, when she was a little girl, called Medicine Angel.
What touched me the most was the compassion that they all shared. And I was particularly impressed with Master Zhang as the leader of the group, because she was the only person that I have ever seen or met who had so much compassion and so much wisdom. There's a lot of people have compassion but no wisdom, or wisdom and no compassion, but she has plenty of both. So that impressed me.
I'm grateful I have the opportunity to join the 25th anniversary celebratory event. I joined Tzu Chi in 1995, and in these past years, I've seen a lot. I've seen how Tzu Chi in DC has grown from a liaison office to a regional office.
I think all the friends of Tzu Chi DC, including myself, should continue to support Tzu Chi and make it better 25 years in the years to come. I hope to celebrate another 25 years.
I hope Washington, D.C.'s Tzu Chi remains here indefinitely to help the people. I hope that those we have affinities with will continue on this path, and that we dedicate ourselves more wholeheartedly so we can see Tzu Chi grow another 25 years.
In the following 25 or 30 years, how should we pass on Tzu Chi's lineage? I think we saw an excellent example today in the DC celebration. I'm grateful for all the bodhisattvas for their hard work in the last 25 years.
Next, let's meet the first official seat in the DC area.
Known to many as Mama Zhen, Zhenli Shixian joined as a disciple of Master Zhenyan upon the 5th year of the formation of the charity. She holds the membership number of 60. In 1989, Mama Zhen and her husband moved to Washington, D.C. in the United States and began spreading Tzu Chi locally. Mr. Zhen describes Mama Zhen's affinity with Tzu Chi as sort of a love triangle. She's devoted to Tzu Chi, and Mr. Zhen is devoted to Mama Zhen. The Tzu Chi Washington, D.C. branch office was established in 1994, and the charity missions have continued for a quarter of a century.
Hey, I'll be okay. I'm a survivor. It don't matter, Rich, either way it goes.
I was affected as far as my resident, as far as damage underneath the resident. My mom, as far as some of my other family members, business got flooded, and also first time we ever seen this here in Lumberton. I mean, having to help people on boats, and some of the organizations helping them on boats.
For the past 2 weeks, to understand what we can help, so we come here
to do the relief, to provide financial aid.
2016, Hurricane Matthew. 2018, flooding in Maryland. 2019, Hurricane Florence.
Today we're going to help the people affected by Hurricane Florence. We're here to do relief work, so we're going to be handing out cash cards and providing for families who have lost their homes.
Visions of angels clad in blue and white fill the disaster victims' hearts.
These areas over here and over here flooded as well, and a lot of damage back in here.
We're having water problems here in town, getting clean water to people.
I have to see what happens with the house, hopefully.
It was very welcoming and calming as far as individuals.
It's amazing to help others with Tzu Chi.
We are providing food to our friends.
And we are getting what we need.
Volunteers have been feeding the homeless breakfast for the past 20 years. In Richmond, Virginia, Tzu Chi volunteers, through providing food for the homeless for the last 16 years, has built a strong familiar relationship with the shelter.
2019, we've been doing this for almost 16 years. Let me hold the door for you. The program first started out as a giver and receiver type of relationship.
They come in and bring our meals. They used to bring us dairy products and vegetables.
In the same breath of helping the less fortunate, it has been 13 years since volunteers began distributing fresh produce to disadvantaged families of Broadacre Elementary in Silver Spring, Maryland.
It started from 2006. We start provide after-school tutor program and medical consultation program, food shop, as well as food distribution.
For the past 10 years, Tzu Chi have visited the Children's Inn and served them dinner to help those seeking treatment at the National Institute of Health forget their sickness and pain, if only temporarily. Tzu Chi Academy helps children learn Chinese and etiquette, learning alongside gratitude and blessings. The students of the academy also join Tzu Chi volunteers in visiting nursing homes, packing winter aid items, school supplies for disadvantaged families, and learning to use their actions to make a difference. In 2018, Tzu Chi in the greater DC area also held a camp for families with autism children to give the parents and caretakers a chance to breathe and take time for themselves.
And it's a big group of people that are coming to help, and they are willing to stay to do it together. When they come pick up the kids, you saw a totally refreshed parent. And that really makes me so happy.
Tzu Chi Indonesia partners with the Charity Foundation to help impoverished families in need. Take a look and goodbye.